Hello. We are going to talk about why the temporary school is better than traditional school. We are going to support our opinion with some arguments. First, we think that temporary model is more didactic, liberal, and comprehensive than traditional model because teacher develops new skills to guide student learning, and the school, being liberal, gives the student more freedom to establish their way of learning, making the student aware of their learning, therefore loving and enjoying their learning instead of seeing it as an obligation. Also, the school sees students and teachers like people who have good values and principles. According to Makers School, contemporary schools are a good way to train citizens capable of creating change, knowing that they are free to improve their environment. Changemakers School is based on active learning because focus on people that have not only content. They consider that empathy, teamwork, leadership, and creative is necessary skill that should be part of education as well as traditional academic skills.
Alejandra has already explained to us what a contemporary school and a traditional school are, but I am going to talk a little more about contemporary schools. Contemporary schools have many benefits. An example of this is Changemakers School. In this school, they believe that contemporary schools are a good way to train citizens capable of creating change to build a better world. In this kind of school, to educate children, they use active learning, focus on people and not only on content, so it is easier for children to learn. Also, in this school, it's considered that empathy, teamwork, leadership, and creativity are very necessary because they are skills that should be part of education as well as a traditional academic skills. An example closer to us is that I have a cousin named Natalia, and she studied at the Agustín Nieto Caballero School, which is a school with an innovative pedagogical model where democracy is very important. And because of that, students have the opportunity to choose the teaching field where they want to focus on, like languages, mathematics, social studies, or arts. My cousin told me that she was very happy in this school because she chose to focus on studying social studies, which is a subject she likes so much. Currently, she's studying law.
I'm going to talk about traditional schools, which are based on religious education and strict. These schools leave democracy aside and want students to think the same as a college. One example was my sister Paula's school. She studied at a very traditional school that is called Marillac. My sister told us that at his school there was a lot of machismo, just for being a girls' school. Also, she told us that her school was so strict because going to mass was mandatory, and when someone did not follow the religion rules, this person was going to be writing to the students' observator or the directives called their parents. All of these things were done by installing fear. Also, for being a women's school, they educate incorrectly since they had a type of stereotype of a woman. Another example of a traditional school is the school where my mother Giovanna studied. She studied in a school in Villavicencio, Meta. She told us although at that time government began to prohibit punishments of physical violence. Also, my mom talked about her experience with the punishment where children are baiting with rules. Also, my mom told us that teachers always had to have the reason, and personally, I think that these types of schools should close or moderate their educations, since they believe some students' right like to free opinion, free will, and their way of thinking, such as my mom's school that oppresses students with baiting with rules in her hands when they do not they thought they same as school.
We can conclude that the contemporary model of school is better than the traditional model of school because a contemporary model is more compliant, dynamic, and it is a good method to improve responsibility in children.